Welcome, coin lovers from all across the USA. Ready to discover the top 5 ultra-rare and most valuable wheat pennies? In this video, we're unlocking the secrets behind these incredible coins that have shocked collectors and sold for crazy auction prices. You won't believe what some of these pennies are worth. Stick around till the end for all the jaw-dropping details. You don't want to miss this. Number 1. Welcome to today's deep dive into one of the most iconic coins in U.S. history, the 1941 wheat penny. If you're a collector or just someone curious about the world of coins, this video is for you. Today, we're talking about why this specific wheat penny is ultra-rare, highly valuable, and why you need to start paying attention to your old pennies. So sit tight and let's get into it. The wheat penny, or the Lincoln cent, was first introduced in 1909 and continued to be produced until 1958. Designed by Victor David Brenner, it features the profile of Abraham Lincoln on the front, while the reverse shows 2 ears of wheat, symbolizing America's agricultural roots. The coin's simple yet meaningful design quickly became a symbol of the United States and its thriving economy. While the wheat penny was in circulation for nearly half a century, it has become one of the most sought-after coins in the world of numismatics. Now, let's talk specifically about the 1941 wheat penny. As we move through history, you'll notice that the production of these pennies varied year by year, and the 1941 is one of those coins that stands out for a variety of reasons. The D on the coin indicates it was minted in Denver, and what makes this particular coin special is its scarcity, condition, and the potential errors it may have. Some of these pennies are in such great condition that their value skyrockets in the market. The value of any wheat penny is determined by several factors. First and foremost, its condition is crucial. A penny in great shape, especially one with sharp details and minimal wear, will always fetch a higher price than a heavily worn one. Additionally, the rarity of a specific year and mint mark is essential. The 1941 while not the rarest of the wheat pennies, is still considered highly valuable due to its limited availability in pristine condition. So what are the key features that make the 1941 wheat penny so special? The first is the mint mark. The D on the 1941 indicates it was minted in Denver, and this mint mark is critical in distinguishing it from other pennies from the same year. The second key feature is the overall design. The wheat ears on the reverse are often well detailed, but in some cases, wear and tear over time can make these details less pronounced. If you find a 1941 with clearly defined wheat stalks, that's a coin to hold on to. Now, let's move on to something even more exciting: error coins. Error coins, like the 1941 with a repunched mint mark, RPM, or those with off-center strikes, can be worth a lot more than the typical penny. A 1941 with an RPM error could be worth thousands of dollars to collectors looking for these anomalies. If you've got one of these rare error coins in your collection, then you could be holding on to a true treasure. But how can you spot one of these valuable wheat pennies in your collection or when coin hunting? The first thing you want to do is check the condition. Look for coins that are still shiny, well-defined, and free from excessive wear. Then, focus on the mint mark. The D mint mark should be clear and properly placed. If it appears doubled or repunched, you've found an error coin. Also, be on the lookout for coins that show signs of misprints or off-center strikes. These errors are what collectors really go after, as they're much rarer than standard, non-error pennies. Now, let's talk about why the 1941 wheat penny is so valuable. The coin itself, in its regular state, is not overly rare, but its condition and any errors it may have can significantly increase its value. For a 1941 penny in excellent, uncirculated condition, you could see it valued between $10 to $20. However, when you factor in those rare errors, such as an RPM or a misprint, the value can go up substantially. If you find a high-grade 1941 wheat penny, especially one with an error, you're looking at a coin that could fetch anywhere from $24,000 to $100,000. Yes, you read that right, thousands of dollars for a single penny. That's the power of rarity and condition in the world of coin collecting. So, what should you do if you think you've found one of these ultra-rare pennies? First, get it professionally graded by a reputable coin grading service to confirm its condition and authenticity. If it's an error coin, that can significantly boost its value. Once it's graded, you'll have a much clearer idea of what your penny is worth, and you can make a more informed decision about selling, trading, or keeping it for your collection. Before we wrap up, let me ask you, have you ever found a rare coin in your change? What was it, and how did you know it was something special? Drop your answers in the comments below. I'd love to hear your stories. To summarize, the 1941 Dewey penny is one of those coins that, when found in the right condition or with a rare error, can become a true gem in a collector's portfolio. Whether you're a seasoned numismatist or just starting out, knowing how to identify and value these pennies can lead to some exciting discoveries. So, the next time you're going through your change, or sifting through old pennies, make sure to keep an eye out for that 1941 Dewey penny. It could be worth a lot more than you think. Thanks for watching, and be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more coin-related content. Until next time, happy hunting, and keep collecting. Number 2. Welcome to today's exciting exploration into one of the most sought-after coins in U.S. history, the 1950 Dewey penny. If you're a coin collector or even just someone curious about rare and valuable coins, this video is packed with fascinating information you won't want to miss. So, grab your magnifying glass, and let's uncover the secrets of this ultra-rare penny. The wheat penny, officially known as the Lincoln cent, first debuted in 1909 and was produced until 1958. It quickly became one of the most recognizable coins in the United States, not only because of its design but also due to its historical significance. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the coin features the iconic bust of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, with 2 stalks of wheat on the reverse, a nod to the country's agricultural roots. But today, we're focusing on a particular year, the 1950 Dewey penny, which is known for being incredibly rare and valuable. So why does this coin get collectors so excited? First, let's take a closer look at the key features of the 1950 Dewey penny. The D mint mark indicates that this penny was struck at the Denver Mint, and this specific year and mint mark combination is highly prized by collectors for several reasons. While the 1950 D isn't the rarest of the wheat pennies, it's the condition of the coin that sets it apart. In fact, the value of a 1950 D penny is largely determined by how well it has been preserved. Coins that are well struck with minimal wear are the ones that hold the most value, so it's important to know what to look for. Now, here's where things get even more exciting: error coins. The 1950 Dewey penny, like many other pennies from this era, is known for certain minting mistakes that can dramatically increase its value. Error coins are a favorite among collectors because they are unique and rare, and they often represent a mistake made during the minting process. Let's dive into some of the most valuable errors that you might find on a 1950 Dewey penny. One of the most valuable types of error is the double-struck penny. A double-struck penny occurs when a coin is struck twice by the die, resulting in a blurred or overlapping design. This error can happen if the coin is ejected from the press too early or if it's fed back into the machine incorrectly. When this happens on a 1950 Dewey penny, collectors go wild. A double-struck penny can often be worth thousands of dollars depending on how clear and noticeable the double strike is. The more dramatic the overlap, the higher the value. Another common but highly valuable error on the 1950 Dewey penny is the off-center strike. This happens when the coin is not properly aligned with the die during the minting process, causing the design to be struck off-center. An off-center strike can make a coin look asymmetrical, and sometimes, a portion of the design might even be missing entirely. If you find a 1950 D penny with this error, it can significantly increase its value. The more off-center the coin is, the rarer and more valuable it becomes. But that's not all. Another error to look out for is a mule error. A mule error occurs when 2 different dies are mistakenly paired together, leading to an incorrect design on one side of the coin. For example, a mule 1950 D penny might have a reverse design from a different year or mint mark entirely. These errors are especially rare, and if you happen to come across a mule 1950 D, it could be worth a small fortune. So why are these errors so valuable? Simply put, they're rarities. Most coins produced at the US Mint are perfectly struck, with sharp details and well-defined features. Errors, on the other hand, represent a departure from perfection, which is why they are highly prized by collectors. Coins with errors are unique, and their rarity makes them special. Imagine finding a 1950 penny that has a clear double strike or is severely off-center. Not only would you have a piece of American history, but you'd also own a coin that's one of a kind. Now, let's talk about how you can spot a valuable 1950 penny in your collection or when you're out hunting for coins. The first thing you want to do is examine the mint mark. Look for the D on the obverse, located near the date. Make sure it's clearly stamped and not doubled, as a doubled mint mark can signal a valuable error. Next, check the condition of the coin. If the penny looks shiny with little to no wear, that's a good sign it could be worth more than face value. Look for crisp, clean details on Lincoln's portrait and the wheat stalks on the reverse. A coin in mint state, MS60 or higher, is where the real value lies. Then, pay attention to errors. A double-struck or off-center 1950 penny will have noticeable flaws in the design. Inspect the edges for signs of an off-center strike, and look at the obverse and reverse for any irregularities, like doubling or blurry images. If you spot any of these, you might just have a rare and valuable coin in your hands. Now let's talk about the value of the 1950 penny. A well-preserved, regular 1950 penny in fine condition can be worth anywhere from $2 to $5. However, when it comes to high-grade coins, a mint state 1950 can fetch a value between $100 and $200. But things get really exciting when we talk about the errors. If you have a 1950 penny with a double strike or an off-center strike, you're looking at a value range from $15,200 to $67,000. Yes, you heard that right, up to $67,000 for a single penny, depending on the error and the coin's condition. So, if you think you might have found a rare 1950 penny, make sure to get it professionally graded by a reputable coin grading service. This will give you a better idea of its value and authenticity. Remember, condition and error type play a huge role in determining how much your coin is worth. Before we finish, let me ask you, have you ever found a rare coin while searching through your change or going through old pennies? What was it, and did you recognize its value right away? Share your experiences with us in the comments below, and let's see if any of you have discovered a hidden treasure. To sum it up, the 1950 penny is a great example of how condition, rarity, and minting errors can turn an ordinary penny into a valuable collector's item. Whether you're a seasoned numismatist or a casual coin enthusiast, knowing what to look for could help you spot a rare find. So keep your eyes open, check your change, and who knows, your next find could be worth thousands of dollars. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss another exciting coin discovery. Until next time, happy collecting! Number 3. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most intriguing and ultra-rare coins in US history, the 1944 penny. If you're a coin collector or just someone who enjoys discovering valuable treasures, you're about to learn all about what makes this coin so special. From its historical context to the rare errors that make it highly sought after, this penny can be worth far more than its original 1-cent face value. Stick around as we explore everything you need to know. The wheat penny, or Lincoln cent, was first introduced in 1909, designed by Victor David Brenner. It features the profile of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and 2 stalks of wheat on the reverse, symbolizing America's agricultural roots. These pennies were produced for nearly 50 years, up until 1958. Over the decades, different varieties of the wheat penny were minted, each with unique characteristics. The 1944 wheat penny stands out among these for a few key reasons. First, the D mint mark tells us this penny was minted at the Denver Mint, which already makes it interesting to collectors. But what truly elevates the 1944 penny is the condition of the coin and the rarity of certain errors that occurred during its production. The year 1944 was a pivotal moment in U.S. history, as it was during World War II. The U.S. Mint had to make adjustments due to shortages of copper, leading to a temporary switch to steel pennies in 1943. Afterward, copper was once again used in the production of pennies in 1944. However, a few 1944D pennies were mistakenly struck on leftover steel blanks from 1943. This is where things get really exciting. Steel 1944D pennies are extremely rare and highly valuable. These error coins are an example of a mistake that occurred during production when steel planchets, blanks, were accidentally used instead of copper ones. The value of a 1944D steel penny can range from $64,900 to $127,000, depending on its condition and how significant the error is. So, how can you spot one of these rare coins in your collection or when you're coin hunting? Let's take a closer look at what to look for. First, inspect the weight. A typical copper penny weighs about 3.11 grams, while a steel penny weighs only around 2.7 grams. If you find a 1944D penny that feels lighter than usual, it could be a steel error coin. Next, look for the color. Copper pennies have a distinct reddish-brown hue, while steel pennies have a more silver-like appearance. If the coin looks shiny or metallic, rather than the usual copper tone, you might have stumbled upon a steel error coin, another key feature to watch for are misstrikes. Sometimes, coins get struck off-center, causing part of the design to be missing or misaligned. An off-center 1944D penny can also increase its value. Similarly, double strikes or die errors can also create rare variations worth more than a typical penny. If you see signs of a blurred design or overlapping details, you could have an error coin on your hands. So why exactly are these error coins so valuable? The main reason is rarity. The vast majority of 1944D wheat pennies were struck on copper planchets, making the steel error coins much harder to find. These error pennies are highly prized by collectors due to their historical significance and the mistake that led to their creation. An error coin, especially one from such a significant year like 1944, becomes a rare piece of American numismatic history, but it's not just the steel errors that make the 1944D penny valuable. Even without an error, a well-preserved, high-quality 1944D wheat penny can still fetch a decent price. If you have a penny in mint condition, with minimal wear and clear, sharp details, it can be worth far more than just a penny. The value can range from $10 to $50 for an uncirculated 1944D penny, but the real prize comes when you find a rare error. Now, let's talk about value, and we're not just talking about pocket change here. If you happen to find a steel 1944D wheat penny, you're looking at a coin that can be worth anywhere between $64,900 and $127,000. Yes, you read that right. A single penny could be worth more than $100,000 if it's a steel error coin in good condition. And even if it's not a steel error coin but just a high-quality 1944D penny, you could still be looking at a valuable collector's item. So, what should you do if you find a 1944D wheat penny and think it could be valuable? First, check for any obvious errors like the steel planchet or off-center strikes. Then, take a look at the condition. The better the condition, the higher its potential value. If you're unsure, it's always a good idea to have the coin graded by a professional. A reputable coin grading service will be able to tell you exactly what you've got, and whether it's worth a small fortune or just a few cents. Before we finish, I want to know, have you ever found a rare coin while searching through your pocket change or going through old pennies? Have you come across any 1944D wheat pennies? Let me know in the comments below. Let's hear your stories and see if any of you have a hidden gem in your collection. To sum it up, the 1944D wheat penny is an excellent example of how a small mistake during production can lead to a coin that's highly valuable and cherished by collectors. Whether it's a steel error penny, an off-center strike, or just a high-quality coin in mint condition, this penny has the potential to be worth a significant amount of money. So, keep your eyes open and keep searching. Your next coin find could be worth more than you think. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss another exciting coin discovery. Happy hunting, and may you find the next big treasure. Number 4. If you're a coin enthusiast, or even just someone looking to learn about valuable and rare coins, you've come to the right place. Today, we're exploring one of the most valuable wheat pennies out there, the 1945 wheat penny. This coin is incredibly sought after by collectors, and for good reason. Not only does it have historical significance, but it also features some rare errors that can dramatically increase its value. Whether you're an experienced collector or a casual viewer, you're about to dive deep into what makes this penny so special. Let's get into it. The wheat penny, also known as the Lincoln cent, was first introduced in 1909, and it remained in circulation until 1958. This iconic coin features Abraham Lincoln's profile on the obverse and two stalks of wheat on the reverse, which is why it's commonly called the wheat penny. But it wasn't just the design that made these pennies stand out, it was also the historical context. The 1945 wheat penny was minted during the final year of World War II, making it a milestone coin for collectors. In fact, the time period during which it was produced also plays a crucial role in why it holds such value today. Before we dive into errors, let's first talk about the key features of the 1945 penny. The D mint mark signifies that this coin was struck at the Denver Mint. In 1945, millions of pennies were minted, but not all of them were preserved in excellent condition. A high-quality, well-preserved 1945 penny can fetch a good price just for being in mint condition, but things get even more interesting when we talk about error coins. Now let's talk about the errors that make the 1945 wheat penny so valuable. Like many other coins from this era, the 1945 wheat penny is prone to minting errors. These mistakes are what makes certain versions of the coin so much more valuable. The most common errors you'll find on wheat pennies, including the 1945 are double strikes, off-center strikes, and die errors. A double strike happens when a coin is struck more than once by the press. This can result in the design being blurry, overlapping, or misaligned. A double-struck 1945 penny is highly sought after, and it can command a premium price. The more pronounced and dramatic the double strike, the more valuable the coin becomes. If you find a double-struck penny, especially one from 1945, you could have a rare gem on your hands. Another error to look out for is an off-center strike. This happens when the coin isn't properly aligned with the die during the minting process. As a result, part of the design can be cut off or misaligned. An off-center 1945 wheat penny is particularly valuable because of its asymmetrical appearance, making it a unique find. The more off-center the strike, the more the coin is worth. Some collectors will pay a premium for these coins, especially when the error is especially obvious. Die errors are another important category of mistakes to watch for. A die error happens when the mint's die, the part that stamps the design onto the coin, becomes damaged, worn, or improperly aligned. As a result, the design can be unclear, distorted, or even partially missing. If you find a 1945 wheat penny with such an error, it could be worth significantly more than a typical penny. Now that you know about some of the common errors that can increase the value of your coin, let's talk about why the 1945 penny is so valuable in the first place. A well-preserved, error-free 1945 wheat penny can still be worth quite a bit, but the rare error coins are what really drive the price up. The main reason these errors are valuable is because of rarity. Minting mistakes are uncommon, and coins with these errors are much harder to find than regular pennies. Collectors love rare and unique coins because they represent a part of U.S. history that's been preserved with a special twist. The condition of the 1945 penny also plays a big role in its value. A coin in mint state, meaning it has no visible wear and tear, can be worth much more than one that's been heavily circulated. If you come across a well-preserved 1945 penny, it might not be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars, but it could still be worth a nice amount. A high-quality 1945 can go for several $100s in mint condition, but things get really exciting if it has one of the rare minting errors mentioned earlier. So, how do you spot a valuable 1945 penny? First, check the condition of the coin. Look for sharp details, no visible wear, and a clear design. The more well-preserved the penny is, the more valuable it will be. Next, check the mint mark. Make sure the D on the obverse of the coin is clear and distinct. If it's doubled, that could be an error in itself, then look for any errors. Inspect the coin closely for signs of a double strike or off-center strike. Hold the coin under a magnifying glass or use a jeweler's loupe to carefully examine the design. If the coin looks out of alignment or has blurry details, you might be holding a rare error coin. For die errors, look for distortions in the design. If part of the coin seems blurry or uneven, it could be a valuable die error. So, what's the value of a 1945 Dewey penny? A regular, well-preserved 1945 D penny in mint condition can range from $20 to $100, depending on its grade. However, when we talk about error coins, the value can skyrocket. A double-struck or off-center 1945 Dewey penny can easily be worth $20,200 and, in some cases, up to $90,000 or more, depending on the rarity of the error and the coin's condition. That's right, $90,000 for a single penny, just because it has a unique minting flaw. If you happen to have a 1945 Dewey penny, especially one with an error, make sure you get it professionally graded. A grading service can help determine whether your coin is an error coin and give you an accurate value estimate. Getting your coin graded also helps protect its authenticity and increases its value in the long run. Before we finish up, I'd love to hear from you. Have you ever found a rare coin like a 1945 Dewey penny or any other penny with an error? What did you do with it? Let me know in the comments below, and let's talk about your amazing coin finds. To wrap up, the 1945 Dewey penny is a true treasure for coin collectors. Whether it's an error coin, a high-quality example, or simply a rare find, this penny can be worth thousands, if not tens of thousands, of dollars. If you think you have one of these rare coins, make sure you give it a close inspection. It might just be your next big discovery. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss a valuable coin discovery. Happy hunting, and good luck finding your next treasure. Number 5. Today, we're diving into a fascinating coin that has captured the attention of collectors and enthusiasts alike. The 1954 Dewey penny. While it might seem like a regular penny at first glance, there's so much more to this coin than meets the eye. If you're into coin collecting, or even if you're just curious about what makes some pennies worth thousands, then this video is for you. Let's explore what makes the 1954 Dewey penny so unique and valuable, and why it should be on every collector's radar. The wee penny was first introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. It was struck until 1958 and features 2 stalks of wheat on the reverse, along with Lincoln's profile on the obverse. These pennies are a staple in any coin collector's inventory, and the 1954 Dewey penny is particularly intriguing because it offers rarity, historical value, and potential minting errors that could dramatically increase its value. Let's start by talking about the key features that make the 1954 Dewey penny stand out. The D mint mark tells us that this penny was struck at the Denver Mint, one of the key minting facilities in the United States. While millions of 1954 D pennies were made, the real intrigue comes from certain variations and errors that occurred during its production. As with many coins from this era, the condition of the coin plays a significant role in its value. A well-preserved 1954 D penny with minimal wear is always more valuable than a heavily circulated one. But what sets this penny apart from others is the rare errors and unique features that can elevate its worth. One of the most exciting aspects of the 1954 Dewey penny is the potential for minting errors. Like many other coins, the 1954 Dewey penny is prone to certain mistakes that increase its value among collectors. The most common errors that you'll see on these coins are double strikes, off-center strikes, and die errors. These mistakes aren't just random, they create highly collectible, one-of-a-kind versions of the coin that can be worth a lot more than a regular penny. A double strike occurs when the coin is struck more than once by the die, resulting in a misaligned or blurred design. If you find a double-struck 1954 D penny, especially if the double strike is very noticeable, you may have just found a rare gem worth a small fortune. The more pronounced the error, the more valuable the coin. Collectors love these coins because they represent a flawed production process, and those imperfections can add a layer of intrigue and historical significance to the piece. Next up is the off-center strike. This happens when the coin is improperly aligned during the minting process. As a result, part of the coin's design can be cut off or misshaped. A 1954 D penny with an off-center strike is another highly collectible error. The further off-center the strike, the more valuable it is. A coin with a noticeable off-center design is far rarer and more desirable than one that was struck perfectly. Another type of error to look for is die errors. This occurs when the die used to strike the coin becomes damaged or worn. As a result, the coin may have distorted or missing details in the design. If you come across a 1954 D wheat penny with any sort of die error, it could be worth significantly more than a regular penny, especially if the error is particularly noticeable or rare. Now, let's dive into the value of the 1954 D wheat penny. A regular 1954 D penny in mint condition might be worth a few dollars, but when you start factoring in error coins, the price can rise substantially. Depending on the severity of the error, a 1954 D wheat penny can be worth anywhere from $7,500 to $47,000. Yes, you read that correctly. A well-preserved error coin, especially one with a double strike or off-center error, could easily fetch tens of thousands of dollars at auction. The reason these error coins are so valuable lies in their rarity and historical significance. The 1954 D wheat penny was produced during a time when the U.S. Mint was operating at full capacity, so mistakes like these weren't very common. Minting errors are often caused by mishaps during production, and because of their rarity, collectors highly prize these coins. The mistakes in the manufacturing process make them unique pieces of numismatic history, and that's why they can command such high prices. If you happen to have a 1954 D wheat penny and you think it might be an error coin, here's how you can spot it. First, inspect the condition of the coin. If it's in excellent shape with no visible wear and crisp details, it's more likely to be valuable. The mint mark, D, should be clear, and the details of Lincoln's portrait and the wheat stalks should be sharp. If you notice any blurred areas or misalignments, you may have a double strike or die error. To check for an off-center strike, look at the alignment of the design. If you notice that part of the coin's design is cut off or misaligned, it could be an off-center error. These errors are often easy to spot with the naked eye, especially if the misalignment is noticeable. If you suspect your 1954 D wheat penny has an error, the next step is to get it professionally graded. A coin grader can accurately assess the condition of the coin and determine whether it's an error coin worth a premium. They'll also assign a grade to the coin, which will help determine its value. Before we wrap up, I want to know, have you ever found a rare coin, or do you have a 1954 D wheat penny in your collection? Have you noticed any unusual features or errors that make your coin unique? Let me know in the comments below. It's always exciting to hear about coin discoveries, and you might just have a valuable find of your own. To summarize, the 1954 D wheat penny may seem like a common coin at first, but when you start factoring in its potential errors and rarity, it becomes clear why this penny is highly sought after by collectors. Whether it's a double-struck penny, an off-center strike, or just an error caused by the minting process, these unique variations can make the 1954 D wheat penny worth thousands of dollars. If you find one of these rare coins, it could be a life-changing discovery. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss a chance to learn more about valuable coins. Happy hunting, and who knows, maybe your next penny could be worth more than you think.